parade, the first group is Tigers and Dragons between 12:30 and 1. And then from 1 to 1:30, it's all of our white and orange belts. And then if you tested for your green belt and are receiving your green belt, then green and brown belts are from 1:30 to 2. And then if you tested for your brown and red belts, then you would be in the red belt group. So red belts and above are, I keep forgetting what time frame I'm on, 2 to 2:30. And then we'll be here until 3. So if you do miss your time slot, you can come at the different times, but I do ask that you try to come during your time slot. That way we don't have too many at any one given time. If you have family members at different times, again, you guys can all pick one time and come during that time. We are going to be on Facebook Live for the whole thing, so make sure you guys hop on there and support each other, getting your belts and all of your awards. When you, let's see. Oh, if anybody misses it, we are going to do a pickup on Monday, which is kind of not, it's definitely not the same. We're not going to do all the stuff. We have a lot of stuff that we are doing at the parade to make it special. If you miss the parade, you can come pick up your belt or your awards, or if you have any awards but you did not test this time, you can come pick those up Monday between 1 and 7. So it's not going to be the same thing as the promotion parade, but we will have that pickup time Monday between 1 to 7. Any questions about the parade? It really is going to be fun. We've got some exciting stuff planned. Who wants to tell me about the contests we are having with the promotion parade? We have 2 different contests.
What contest are we having?
All right, I see Miss Destiny and Ezekiel raising your hand. Why don't each of you guys tell me about one of them?
Yes. One of them is you get to decorate your car. Who has the most festive?
Yeah, exactly. So car decorating contest, decorate your car however you want to with your new belt, with your black belt, gold day, any of that kind of stuff. Most creative decorated car wins a gift certificate. And then Ezekiel, you want to tell us about the other one?
The other one is you get Best Tester Award for the best tester.
We do have a Best Tester Award, but we do have a contest that we're doing that day. We'll probably let it run all weekend and then announce the winner on Monday. So who remembers the other one? Who remembers that one? Destiny, go ahead.
You're going to have either your parents or your siblings tying your belt. The one who does it the best, like an instructor, wins.
Very good. Good job. Yeah. So ask somebody special to you to promote you. And if they, do just like an instructor would, telling you how proud they are of you and how hard you've worked, and talk about some of the achievements that you've overcome or things like that. So if everybody who posts a video of them receiving their promotion receives a star, and then whoever's is the most like an instructor will win a gift certificate. Okay, so that's it for the promotion parade. Where did my notes go? That's it on there. That's it on there. Oh, this Sunday is Mother's Day. So make sure you do something nice for your moms. On Friday, we are doing a Mother's Day craft. So join me and Miss Katie on Facebook Live. We will go live on our main Middleburg Martial Arts page. Okay, so look for it there. Not in the private group, but on the main page. There is a scheduled Facebook Live on there. So you can say you're going to that so you get notifications when we go live. I'll try to share it to the group and stuff too so everybody sees it. So we have that this Friday. All you'll need for that is different colored paper or white paper and markers, and then a marker, scissors, glue, and that's it for that. So that's going to be fun. We'll just do a quick little live for that. I think that's pretty much it going on this week. Yeah, that's everything. Okay, so we have another very special guest speaker with us today that all of you guys know and love. Miss Maya is on here, and she's going to talk to us a little bit today. So thank you so much, Miss Maya. And I just want to take a second to say how proud I am, and I know Master Lappin feels the same way, about one, we're talking about leadership. And so one of the things that I am so proud of you is how much leadership you have taken on. Most of you guys have taken a class with Miss Maya. She's one of our current instructors. She's a leader student. she is such a strong example of a martial artist. She has so much passion for karate. She is always in class, always doing all the extra trainings, all of her leadership seminars, master seminars, always in black belt class. She like never misses a black belt class, even if it means her mom has to pick her up from Jacksonville because she's going to UNF. She's in class every chance that she can. She works really hard. She practices, and prepares all the time. That way, when it's time for a tournament, time for a belt test, she is ready. So she's a good example of what I was talking about yesterday. Not just only working hard right before a tournament or right before a belt test, but you need to start working hard now. That way you're ready at belt testing times. And if anyone has seen her train, they see that she always looks like she's ready to compete. Who has watched Miss Maya do one of her forms? She's awesome. And she always looks like she's ready to train or ready to compete, right? Or ready to test. And she is. So I think that sets such a good example, and she's such a good role model in the studio for that perseverance and that self-discipline. Another big thing I would like to say that I am proud of you for, Maya, is the amount of confidence that you've developed. And like I said, leadership, you know, just the confidence. If I was to guess, like when you first started training, it would be hard for some, especially someone who hadn't seen other kids go through it, but to see that kid and imagine that you would be who you are today, teaching classes, leading our demo team, all of that kind of stuff. And the demo team is another big thing that we are proud of Miss Maya for doing. She has completely taken leadership, responsibility for that demo team and for those students too, which is a huge amount of leadership. And again, self-discipline. So Miss Maya, is there anything that you want to say to these guys about leadership?
There are so many things. First of all, I just want to say thank you for letting me have the opportunity to speak to these guys about that. I think the most important thing, especially that I've gotten out of it, is the self-confidence and, you know, the I guess the determination and the drive to want to do things for myself and not for it because anyone else told me to, you know. So I think just the self-confidence to want to, you know, to have that ability, you know, to do something that I really want or something like that. So I think the self-confidence out of anything is, you know, probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's huge for leadership. Absolutely. Okay. So when you first started training, what did you and your parents want for you to gain out of martial arts?
That was such a long time ago. I don't even know really. Because I think I was watching Marshall do class. Even though it was a tiny technical class, I was on the, you know, sitting on the side and I was watching him. I'm like, I can do that. Like that's so easy. So I'm like up there doing the kimojasis and the low blocks and stuff. And I'm like, can I do that? Like, and I think that's really all it was. It's like, you know, like that looks so easy. I can, even though it's, you know, it wasn't because I was doing different material, but I think just wanting to do something, you know, like that just seemed really cool. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And what were you, I know this is a little bit different way of wording that question, but what would you say, like, how were you when you started training versus now, or when you got your black belt?
So there is I've come out of my shell a lot, and we talk about it a lot. And I know most of the kids on here probably know that, you know, I was really shy when I started at 9 years old, and I didn't like talking to people, and I felt really, I guess, reserved, and I didn't like to be around people. I always stayed in like a little corner or somewhere. I was like always attached to my mom at the hip, and I kind of still am a little bit, but I branched out since I've been training. So I've gotten out of my shell, like I said earlier, and I've become more outspoken, I guess, and more talkative, because now sometimes like I don't even shut up. Sometimes I talk so much now, but yeah, definitely coming out of my shell, and the, you know, confidence and stuff I think is the most thing that's changed since I began. So
yeah, well, and I think another big thing with that, with coming out of your shell and the confidence part of that, and I mentioned it when we were talking to Miss Katie, is being comfortable in uncomfortable situations. Which, you know, if you talk to a lot of successful people, and if you read a lot of success books, self-help books, they say stuff like that is so important. You need to learn how to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations, because that's how you grow. You put yourself in a situation where you're not you know, it's not super comfortable. It's not something you've done a million times, and that's how you learn and that's how you grow. And I think that you have grown like this today. It wasn't like a, oh no, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can talk in front of everybody. And you didn't need any hand holding or encouraging or saying you're going to do great. You have the confidence in yourself to know that you can talk in front of everybody and you're comfortable in uncomfortable situations. And that's awesome. Being able to put yourself out of your comfort zone is so important. And I think a big part of why you've done so well. I know she has rocked some awesome, I was going to say talent shows, but they weren't. It was like culture nights at her school.
Right,
Where she
yes.
represented
Mm.
the Korean culture with martial arts. But that's a big deal in front of her entire high school to be able to demonstrate is awesome. Okay, so my next question, how did the black belt leadership training at Middleburg Martial Arts help you while you were in school? And you still are in school. Miss Maya is going to University of North Florida. So how did it help you in high school and how is it helping you in college?
I think what first comes to mind is being proactive, which is the first of the 7 habits that we're talking about this month. And I think that by using a planner every day and writing, you know, what I have for homework and what I have like for tests coming up and when I have to study, that kind of gives me like more organization, and I'm able to know what I need to do, when I need to do it, and when it's due, and do it, you know, early. That way I have more time to, you know, for myself. So I think that's by being proactive and doing things, taking the initiative to do things, you know, the extra mile, and doing like studying like a week before, or, you know, but days before my test, and then, you know, asking questions in class, writing notes. I take a lot of notes, like so many. And I think those things help me get the grades I do, because I just finished my first year at UNF, and I had 4 classes, and I ended up with 3 A's and 1 B. So I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
You should be very proud of that.
So I credit that to my grades and, you know, where I am now in my schooling, to, you know, some of those 7 habits, like being proactive, you know, thinking with the end in mind, like having like, okay, so I have this many weeks left in the semester, you know, what grades am I going to get and how I'm going to get those grades. So yeah, I think those, you know, the kind of like, what are they called? I guess values and virtues, those kind of things, you know, aside from, which is really what we talk about in leadership, I think is what, you know, benefits me the most, I think.
Good. And how has it helped you outside of school? So in your life outside of school, how has your leadership training at Middleburg Martial Arts helped you?
I would really have to say like at my house, because I clean a lot. So most of the times we have like these you know, regular household chores, like taking out the trash and the recycling, and I sometimes do that without even anyone asking me about it, because it's like just automatic thing. I know I have to do it every day, you know, or every other day. And yeah, so I think, you know, just seeing something, you know, that needs to be done and doing it, you know, so.
Absolutely. Good. Okay. What would you say is the most important thing that you learned from your black belt leadership training?
The most important thing, probably you don't plan, or you, what is it? You plan to fail, not fail to plan, or something along those lines. That, you know, even though you might fail and not, you know, do something right the way you wanted it to go, then you can still, you know, bounce back from that and not break from it, and you know, keep going even if something's hard. So I think that perseverance and you know, picking yourself back up, you know, the 8th time, even if you fell down 7 times, that kind of thing. So yeah, the perseverance, I think, is the never giving up spirit, and that's what, you know, it is. Even if you don't learn a form the first time, or you're struggling with it, doesn't mean that you need to give up, you know. So
Yeah, well, that's it. That is a good quote. It's people don't plan to fail, they
Right.
fail to plan. And kind of what you were talking about with being proactive and staying organized and having a planner. And, you know, every time you come into karate class, you're prepared. You bring your weapons, you bring your sparring gear if you know we're sparring. Those kinds of things, as little as they are with being prepared for karate class, carry over to every aspect of your life. Being prepared for a test, like you're saying, that's a bigger deal, right? Starting to study the week before. And so you hear a lot of people, especially in college, who do that, who procrastinate, and they pull all-nighters the night before a test because they did not plan, and they end up cramming and studying everything that one night. And like, I'm kind of on a tangent, but the issue with cramming is if anyone studies psychology, you learn that you're memorizing it in a different way. You're putting it in your temporary memory bank, basically. So if I study this all for tomorrow, I might remember it mostly for my test tomorrow, but then on my final, I'm not going to remember any of it because my brain lets it go that day. Whereas if you start a week or two early, or you study throughout the semester, and you prepare and you plan, you're going to be prepared for that. And then you're going to have that knowledge and carry that over with you, instead of just learning it for a test and moving on. All right, so my last question for you, what would you tell a student or a parent who is considering making the commitment to Black Belt leadership training?
I would say do it. You know, maybe if you think financial or, you know, is an obstacle for you, you know, we talk to Master Lappin or Master Luton, and they will find a way for you to be able to afford it. And I think it's a great benefit for your child. They get so much out of it because it's so much extra than the punching and kicking. It's, you know, the 7 habits we're talking about this month. It was leadership skills. Everything, every month is something different. And I think that, you know, they'll be able to take those and carry those on with them throughout, you know, after they leave the studio and when they go into a career as an adult. I really think they could take those and, you know, use them, you know, to the best of their ability and make them successful. So I think definitely find a way and do it. I think it's, you know, an amazing thing. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Miss Maya. And thank you again for coming on here and chatting with us. I greatly appreciate it.
Hello.
I just want you to know how proud we are of you and everything you do, and what an awesome, awesome martial artist you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's true.
All right. And with that being said, does anyone want to ask Miss Maya a question? Mr. Caleb Ricks, go ahead.
What year did you get your black belt?
Okay, 2014 I tested for my first degree. So I was about 14.
And now she is a 3rd degree black belt. Yeah. All right. Anybody else have a question for Miss Maya? Skylar.
Do you have a cat?
I do not. I don't have any pets, unfortunately. I did have some fish a long time ago, but not anymore. So.
All right. Any other questions? Miss Abby?
Did you notice we have 3 more kittens?
You have 3 more? Yeah, I saw you had 3 yesterday in our private lesson. Yeah.
Oh, actually, Abby, do you want to stay on for a minute after we dismiss everybody, and so Tegan can say hi to the kittens?
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks. All right. Anybody else have a question for Miss Maya? Mr. Paul.
What kind of car does a black belt drive?
Well, this one does not have a car nor a license yet, but I will be working on that. So.
All right, Mr. Caleb White, do you have a question for Miss Maya?
Why did you start karate?
Well, I think to I guess the best of my because Marshall did it. I saw Marshall doing it. I was like, I want to do that. So, you know, I did it. I think I really can't remember the exact reason why, but that's what I go with.
Yeah, most of us who start, especially as kids, you do it because you think it's fun. You don't really, especially when you're really young, you don't understand the benefits of it. And a lot of times our parents sign us up because they're like, you know, I want you to develop the confidence or the leadership or the respect or the discipline or the focus. But for the kids, they're just excited to learn something new, to set goals, and because it's fun. All right, Emily and Amber, what are your questions?
What are you studying in college?
Good question. So I'm a communications major, and my concentration is advertising. So that's kind of the field I want to go into, with advertising, making ads, and you know, things like that. So, nice. And then I have a minor in marketing. So I'm also studying marketing. I took a marketing class this past semester. So either marketing or advertising, somewhere in there.
Nice.
Yes. And Amber, do you have a question?
How old were you when you started karate?
When I started karate, I was 9. It's way back in 2009.
All right, any other questions? Is that it? Jaden Davis, go ahead.
This isn't really a question, but I just want to say you really inspire me doing my karate.
Thank you. Thank you. That's awesome.
That was very sweet of you, Jaden. I know Miss Maya has inspired a lot of people. She inspires me. She is a kick butt martial artist, and she does that. The energy that she brings to every karate class inspires me too. All right, Mr. Caleb Ricks, do you have another question?
What is your birthday?
My birthday, okay. My birthday is September 11th, 2000. So like a year before, 9/11, which, makes it kind of special, sort of, kind of. It's easy to remember. So, because I was born early, so that's why my birthday is on that day. I don't remember when I should have been born. I think like February or something, like the next year. Yeah.
All right, any other questions? Anything else? Nope. All right, well, let's all unmute ourselves and say, come up, Simnida, to Miss Maya. Thank you so much, Maya, for chatting with us.
You're welcome.
Yeah.